Salute to everybody that's going to join this stream this morning or this afternoon or tonight, wherever you're at. I appreciate all of you guys that are going to tap on in. And hopefully everybody will understand the purpose of me making this video and the purpose of why it's important to always tell the truth and never tell a lie. Even if you think it may hinder you from getting to the truth is always going to rise. Right now, I have a lot of people that are upset with me because I refuse to get on board and lie. So I decided today I was going to present some truth to you guys. Now, Karmelo Anthony's lawyers, they released his new appeal lawyers released an explosive 193-page appeal, paperwork yesterday. And I mean, I stayed up all night reading this. It is absolutely explosive. Now, I want to say something to everybody before I even get into this video, right? Any of the things that we say in this video, that I say in this video, I want you to do this. When you go look at this paperwork, right? One of 93 pages. When you go look at this paperwork, I want to show you something. I want you to go to page, and this is what you guys can do yourself. See, it eliminates the misinformation. I read this entire paperwork last night, man, word by word. Now, I had read almost 30 to 40 pages yesterday when I talked to y'all. But after I read this entire paperwork yesterday, and here's the thing, you guys can go, you don't have to listen to Ticket. Go call Karmelo Anthony's new lawyer. His information, any one of his new appeal lawyers' information is in this paperwork. And I'm going to show you where you can find it. That way, you guys can cut out all of the liars, all of the grifters, and all of the people who have used this boy to try to elevate themselves in this case, which I think is absolutely disgusting. And people think because I didn't do that, I'm against Karmelo. If you listen to the very first video I put out, I told you I believe this is about race. Now, I will say this. I believe that Karmelo Anthony's father fooled me from the beginning. I'm not Karmelo Anthony. Austin Metcalf's father fooled me from the beginning when he tried to go over there and act like he wanted to make peace with the family. That the father was a shrewd operator. But when he went on that racist rant afterwards, boy, did that set a whole scene of things. And there was a lot of people who, well, we'll just leave that for later on in this video. But I want to show you guys this first. So before you listen to me, before you listen to any other person on YouTube about this, if you have any questions, I don't know if they'll answer you or not, but I believe that you guys should contact his lawyers. Or there is a girl, she's been the most responsible out of everybody on YouTube, and I have to give her 1,000% credit because she's actually in this paperwork, and her name is Nika Knight. Nika Knight is actually in this paperwork, and I believe that Nika Knight has a line to these lawyers. She has to because she's in this paperwork. You can go ask Nika Knight if you don't believe me. She's the only other one I've seen that have really given credible information from start to end on this case, right? And so if you guys know who Nika Knight is, go subscribe to her channel. I think she does a great job. She goes to the courtroom. She covers these cases. She's in the paperwork. She's in the filings. She studies the paperwork. I've watched how she, she takes this stuff serious. She's not this little side hustler that comes on YouTube looking for a quick payday. Here are his counselor's numbers right here. His new appellate lawyers, right? His new appellate lawyers, right? Right here. So you can go, once again, I'm telling everybody listening to this video, you don't have to ask Ticket. Call his lawyers. Ask any one of his lawyers. The numbers, emails is right there. Call them. Ask them if all of these people who claimed that in this filing or that in their new writing, they said anything about a video. And today, because everybody was lying about that new video, and I always believe you don't have to lie to get to the truth. If you go back and look at my history and my videos on this YouTube channel, I've always struck around the truth, which is what I told you from the first day. You can go back and listen to all my videos. And people were mad because I would not acknowledge these liars in the black community who were using lies to uplift and build up themselves as far as the credibility of this case went. This paperwork has everything in it. I did a video yesterday and showed y'all, bro, the Metcalf twins they were going to expose them in court for being arrested for racist graffiti. I showed you guys these things, right? And these are real things that's in the filing. So it's a difference between real and fake, lies and cap. All the lies about, oh, well, Karmelo, he didn't do it. He wasn't there. There was another knife. These are all lies. Karmelo Anthony's new lawyers, they address all of this in his new filing, 193 pages. Now, I'm going to read some of these pages for you guys so y'all can see exactly the key points of what I'm talking about. But first, there were aspects, many, of deception in this case between the lawyers for Karmelo Anthony, the lawyers for the prosecution, and I do believe that the judge is absolutely very questionable in this case, as far as to the point where he needs to be recused from this case. And guess what? You can go look at my history of videos on YouTube surrounding Karmelo Anthony. I've spoken about this multiple times on my channel. You have people that come on my channel, oh nigga, you ain't. No. You need to go listen to the history of my channels. You're getting emotionally mad because I was speaking the facts. I wasn't going to come on here and say something just to get 2,000 or 3,000 people in my chat at the same time and lie about this case. But the truth has been exposed, and let's go ahead and get right to it. And I'm going to come right back to this paperwork, right? They showed everything, right? Let's get right to it, because I'm not going to hold you guys any longer, all right? Let me open this up for you guys. Karmelo Anthony's lawyers, and we're going to start by one. This is all from this casework right here, this appeal paperwork, just so y'all know. And I'm going to prove it to you today with facts, not lies. And again, if you don't believe me, when I tell you that these people are lying, saying they saw a clear video, bro, you don't need to lie to get to the truth. I have 1,000% proof that I'm going to show you guys today. And what those people that lied didn't know, those people who lied, you guys, didn't know that at the Frisco ISD, when they went up there to see the real video that everybody saw, that blurry video, they didn't know they were being recorded when they went up there. So that lie that they told, I seen this clear video, they didn't know that they were being recorded while they were watching the blurry video. I'm going to prove it today. I'm going to prove it today. And once again, I'm going to show you guys the difference between lies and truth. Listen, multiple people claim, and also I'm going to address this too. Karmelo Anthony, people don't like when I say this, but it's the truth. He was not jumped. He was in fear of being jumped. That's what made it, in my opinion, clear self-defense. People are saying, oh, he was jumped. I seen it in the video. You're lying. His own lawyers are not saying this, and I'm going to show you today in the new filing, his own lawyers are not saying this. They are literally saying he was in fear of what could happen. So basically, this is what I'm surmising that really happened. He was threatened by multiple people and thought they was going to jump on his ass. So when old boy pushed him and he did what he did, he got up out there real quick because of the threat of multiple people. And his lawyers in this new case filing right here brought up everything. His epilepsy and all these things I told y'all about on this channel 3 weeks ago. These are real case things. Now, once again, you don't have to believe me. You can say, Ticket, man, I don't believe the words you say. Okay, call his lawyers. I put the information for his lawyers on the screen, right? So that you guys can call his new appellate lawyers and ask them. Call Russell Wilson in a second and say, hey, Russ, let me ask you a question. Was there a hidden video anywhere in the files? Did Karmelo Anthony get jumped by multiple people, or was he in fear of getting jumped by multiple people? Was Karmelo Anthony pushed by one person? Give me the details of what happened, man. And see what you get. That's why I put his number and his information that's in this public filing on the screen at the beginning of this video. That way y'all can get from all these lies on YouTube. Oh, I seen the trash can. I seen him change clothes. I seen the 2 knives. All this other shit. They're lies. Karmelo Anthony's team's not arguing any of these things in court. They're arguing that it's self-defense. And his new lawyers are arguing that the instructions were completely wrong given to the jury because they're claiming self-defense. And I'm going to prove it to you. All this to y'all today. And to the person who says, what does epilepsy have to do with the stabbing? I'm going to show you what it has to do with the stabbing. If you look in the paperwork, and this is why his trial was egregious. I agree with that. And I told you guys from the very beginning, he should have fired that damn $2 lawyer he had, because that lawyer did him no good. They were planning to call a doctor specialized for his epilepsy case. Also, they had planned to have his coach. Remember how everybody said, well, how he got epilepsy but he can play football? They were going to call his coach as a witness that had witnessed Karmelo Anthony have multiple seizures. This is all in the paperwork. You know how it got shut down? Do you know how it got shut down? It got shut down because of the secret agreement between Mike Howard and Bill Werschke from the district attorney's office. And the judge, that Judge Roach, this dude right here, this is man, I think the judge is absolutely disgusting. And I'm just going to be honest with y'all. See, there are aspects where a lot of people who are saying things have truths, bits of truths, but they're throwing these on the other shit in line. And what it did was it helped bolster them up, but it put salt and lies on the case. Now, let me show y'all the multiple people claim, and this is all from these new filings. They explicitly argued that in the chaotic environment, Karmelo Anthony reasonably feared he was about to be attacked by multiple people, causing a split second of fear and chaos, where his fight or flight response kicked in. That's in this paperwork right here. Take your ass over here, and I will show you exactly what pages. Everything I show y'all, I'm going to show y'all exactly what pages. I'm going to come back and show you what pages to find this information on. His appellate stance. This is from his new appeal I just showed y'all. His new appeal team, which includes attorneys from Ben Crump Law and the Texas NCAA, continues to lean into that context. In their July 2026 filing, which just came out the other day, for a retrial, they maintain that he acted under severe physical intimidation by an aggressive group of students. He wasn't attacked by an aggressive group. He was feared because he thought that they was going to jump on his ass, which is what I told y'all from the very beginning. His decision making got crazy. And the reason why all this is important is because we found out that those brothers, they were going to bring his school records, the two brothers, Metcalf brothers, where in the school records, violence, NAACP, my bad, violence and also bullying and also racism. It's all in the paperwork. And I'm going to show y'all again. Let's go to the next one. Now, his trial lawyer, Mike Howard, did not state that Karmelo Anthony was physically attacked by multiple people. Under Texas law, the defense strategy did not claim a full-scale physical assault by a crowd occurred. Instead, the lawyer argued that Karmelo Anthony faced physical intimidation from multiple athletes in the tent, which caused a split-second fear that he was about to be jumped or ganged up on. That's what I told y'all. So was he jumped and pounded out? No, he wasn't. But was he in fear that he was going to be jumped and pounded out and they was going to jump on his ass? Yes, he was. And that's why Hunter Metcalf and Austin Metcalf's history was very important to be spoken to the jury, because they needed to know what type time these boys was on. But the fact that they held that out, they held the history of those boys out, it made them look like church choir boys. Let's keep going. Regarding the actual physical contact, the defense acknowledged that the physical altercation itself involved a push rather than a group beating. The truth is always going to tell you free. And a lie is never going to reign. Right? He don't need a lie to get off in this case. I've been telling y'all this from the very beginning. Listen to my first video. People, this is all from this paperwork right now that's been spread today. People spreading a false narrative that he was attacked by multiple people due to a combination of deliberate disinformation campaigns, intense racial polarization, and the viral nature of social media. Because the trial was completely closed, the cameras, microphones, and a massive information vacuum opened up, right? Bad faith actors, automated accounts, rushed to fill that void with fabricated details to fit their own narratives. The primary reasons his false narratives continue to spread is because, one, coordinated disinformation acts. Shortly after the incident, Numerous anonymous and fake accounts were launched on social media specifically to alter the public perception. This went as far as third-party criminal offense, where a user faked an account, right, impersonating the Frisco police chief to tweet out fabricated facts, falsely claiming that Karmelo Anthony was ambushed and sucker punched by multiple people. Didn't I tell y'all this? And this is why I told y'all the FBI had got involved. But y'all didn't want to listen to me. They was going off Facebook and taking what people were saying on Facebook at face value. And it was a lie, an unadulterated lie. But let's keep going. The truth is always going to reign. And I have the absolute truth. High profile exploitation in echo chambers. The case became heavily polarized along racial lines because Karmelo Anthony is black and Austin Metcalf is white. Massive political commentary accounts on X, formerly Twitter, blasted the story out to tens of millions of people. On one side, certain groups used the case to spread highly charged racial rhetoric, but on the other side, internet users reacting to the hostility pushed back over embellishing or straight up fabricating details, like inventing physical group assault to make Carmelo's Anthony's look like an undeniable case of self-defense when they didn't have to. Karmelo Anthony's self-defense could have just came from the fear he was going to be jumped. This is what I told y'all. That's why I said, when you look at their core strategy and go look at all the new paperwork, and don't ask me, ask Ben Crump, ask Russell Wilson III, ask all the lawyers that are on his case. You have his numbers. Ask them, call them and ask them, email them and ask them, hey man, I need to know the details of this case. Was Karmelo Anthony jumped, or was he assaulted by one person and feared being jumped? See, their whole case is that when they was under that tent, it was some demonic, diabolical talk going on. Listen to what I'm saying, right? I'm telling y'all this right here. And to the person who said I'm talking to AI, I'm not talking to AI. I got the paperwork right here. And this is the reason why I told you, you can go call the lawyers yourselves. Either get in here and read 193 pages or call the lawyers yourselves, because I have unadulterated proof today that they lied. You know why I know they lied? Because at the Frisco ISD, where they said that they saw these videos, they were recorded. They were recorded, and they don't even know it. And I'm going to show you today. High profile chambers, right? So as y'all see right here, let's get to the next part, right? And I want to break this down. And again, you don't have to ask me. Go ask the girl Nika Knight. She was at the courthouse every day. Go ask Nika Knight. She was at the courthouse every day. I have no reason to lie. Ask her. Nika Knight is in the paperwork. This paperwork right here, Nika Knight is in the paperwork. She's literally in the paperwork. Because she was down at the courthouse every day. So go ask her if I'm lying. Not like these Weeba Dirchies that went nowhere around that lied and used this to build up their platform and lie. And I'm going to show y'all this. And that's a shame that people will continue to push lies because they want to believe some black folks who are lying about this case. And because it was so polarizing, people were willing to go along with that lie instead of just let the truth deal with them themselves. See, the truth is that Austin and Hunter Metcalf have been arrested for racist graffiti. You didn't need to tell a lie about the video. The truth was going to bust their ass anyways in the end. Misinterpreting the real defense strategy, right? The actual defense legal team argued that physical intimidation, feeling outnumbered, right? Cornered, and feared an imminent attack. When complex legal jargon about the reasonable fear of multiple actors gets filtered through TikTok, X, and Instagram, the nuance gets completely stripped away. General internet users translate the fear of a group attack into he was attacked by a group, turning a legal argument into a fake factual claim. Let's keep going, right? The AI slop. Major outlets like Rolling Stone and CBS reported a massive surge of AI-generated images and videos surrounding the trial because these highly emotional fake depictions look convincing to the untrained eye, I should say. People share them as proof, quote unquote, of events that never actually happened in reality. Let's keep going. I'm gonna bust their chops today. I came for the smoke today. I literally came for the smoke today. Ultimately, the surveillance footage released by the Collin County Court put the rumors to rest, proving the physical encounter was an immediate one-on-one confrontation that lasted under 10 seconds. Let's keep going. I got more proof. People are lying about seeing specific video because they're confusing the real, grainy, faraway surveillance footage with fake highly detailed AI-generated recreations circulating on TikTok, Instagram, and X. There are three primary reasons this specific lie about a clear video from the Frisco ISD has spread so rapidly, right? Again, don't ask me, ask Russell Wilson II, ask Carmelo Anthony's lawyers, period. I'm telling y'all this right now. Watch this. The real footage is extremely grainy and far away. That Frisco ISD provided 5 camera angles from the stadium. However, the primary camera capturing the incident was positioned away from the field near the press box. When investigators used forensic software to zoom in into the yellow tent, the footage became incredibly pixeled and grainy inside the tent itself. The actual physical confrontation is almost entirely obscured and difficult to see. It is impossible to see a clear multi-person beating on real footage because that footage literally does not exist. People are watching AI slop recreations and thinking that they are real. Because the real surveillance footage is hard to make out, social media's creators and AI slop accounts flooded platforms with artificial content. They use generative AI tools to create crystal clear, photorealistic but completely fake videos and images depicting a large-scale brawl under a track tent. Millions of casual internet users watch these hyper-detailed AI animations, didn't notice the lack of an AI label, and mistakenly assumed that they were watching official, unreleased, clear Frisco Stadium tape. I got more. I got more. And we're going to get into the filings. I got more. Let's keep going. Right? Y'all see it right here. Texas open record laws fueled the rumor before the trial. Long before the trial took place, Frisco ISD allowed people to request to view the surveillance video under strict Texas open record laws. Requesters could look at the video in person but were strictly forbidden from recording it in their phones. Because the public couldn't see the actual video online for a year, people who wanted to defend Carmelo Anthony went on to social media and claimed, "I saw a secret clear video at Frisco ISD and it shows him getting jumped," end quote. Since no one could clip the video to prove them wrong, the lies spread unchecked. When the Collin County Court officially released the active trial evidence and surveillance footage, it proved these accounts were lying. The real video simply shows Carmelo Anthony entering the tent, quick movements that the prosecutors proved was a single push from Metcalf, trying to get him to leave, and Anthony admittedly running away and down the bleachers after the stabbing. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. I told y'all these people was lying, but I got more proof they was lying, right? I got proof. I'm going to show you the paperwork after this. I'm going to show you the paperwork. Frisco ISD officially released a restricted stadium video under Texas open record laws in June of 2025. Local news outlets like CBS Texas and WFAA documented the exact parameters of what the video showed, completely debunking the clear multi-person attack narrative. The specific evidence proving that what these people actually saw includes, right? The official news reporting, you can go through all that, right? Also, let me get right to the one I want to get to with y'all. Because, see, these niggas, they're going to make me come out my bag today, right? They're going to make me come out my bag today. Hold on. Hold on. I'm finna show y'all. I want to get right to it. I don't want to miss it. Hold on. Nope, that ain't what I want. The people pushing this conspiracy theory are lying to protect their own credibility and keep the viral self-defense narrative alive after being proven wrong, they say, at the actual trial evidence. But here's the thing. The trial, that's true and false, because the trial evidence about the racism and the bullying from the Metcalf boys was hidden. And that's why it wasn't presented in the trial, because Carmelo Anthony's lawyer made a deal with Bill Werschke to keep all that information quiet about the history of the boys. Now, I'm going to tell y'all the whole truth on this channel. There was something in Carmelo Anthony's phone. There was something in his phone that the defense was trying to attack and use against Carmelo's character, but it wasn't anything about racism or anything of that nature, because it said it in the files. But they didn't want Hunter Metcalf to get up there, because Hunter Metcalf and them, they had a school record of violence, bullying, and there was an arrest for racist graffiti from those two twins. And they did not want that on the stand. Why? Because you risk having a Johnny Cochran moment to the goddamn jury, and then the jury saying, well, hold on, man, this is racist right here. This is a whole racist situation right here. They didn't want that. This is the reason why his lawyers are going into all of this about how they struck those jury members, the 3 black jury members, because they knew if any of the black jury members potentially heard that and saw that evidence that was held out of court, bro, instantly hung jury. Instantly hung jury. And they knew it. And I have the evidence to prove it to you in the paperwork. And again, don't ask me. Go call Karmelo Anthony's lawyers. I gave y'all the phone number. Don't call nobody on YouTube. Don't call nobody. Call Karmelo Anthony or email his lawyers and ask them. Ask them about all these lies people are telling y'all. Every lie y'all want to know the answer to, email them and ask them. Say, hey, sir, you saw Karmelo Anthony's whole case file. Can you please tell me all of these different things? And then when they debunk and when they expose these people for lying, what y'all gonna say then? See, they're gonna deflect what I'm telling y'all to go ask his current appeal lawyers, right? Who are 1,000% on his side and exposed a lot of shit. So basically, it says the people pushing this conspiracy theory are lying to protect their own online credibility and keep the viral self-defense narrative alive after being proven wrong, right? So when the court finally released a real surveillance video, it completely shattered the internet rumors of a clear group beating. To double down, instead of admitting they were wrong, these individuals invented a new lie, that the Frisco ISD is hiding a secret high-definition tape from the public. They used this specific excuse for key reasons. And guess what, y'all? The people who lied, they don't know. When they went, because see, everybody thought they was telling the truth because a lot of those people requested to go see the video at the Frisco ISD. That's true. They had the email. So they said, hey, man, they really did. So they lied, right? So let's continue to get into this because it needs to be spoken, right? So the secret tape excuse protects their reputation. Before the trial, many social media influencers, activists, and commentators built massive audiences by claiming that they had inside knowledge or personally viewed the clear video, quote unquote, under, right? The clear video, quote unquote, right? Under open records law. When the real grainy 10-second video was released to the public, it proved that they were either misinformed or lying. To avoid losing their followers and credibility, they claim, right? They claim the government is pulling a cover-up and releasing a fake downgraded version of the tape, exploiting the in-person only legal loophole because Texas open record laws originally forced people to view the video in person at the Frisco ISD, right? Building without phones or recorded devices, it created a perfect scenario for liars. They know that because the phone recording was strictly banned, there is no physical way for a regular citizen to prove exactly what Pixel looked like on the monitor that day. They exploit this lack of phone footage to claim, trust me, the monitor I looked at showed a completely different high-definition video. Misunderstanding the basic video compression. When Frisco ISD showed the video privately on their internal network, it was being played directly from the original source files on a local computer monitor. When the same video is exported for the public, broadcasted on the news or compressed through TikTok and X algorithms, the quality drops even further, making it look like a different video to someone who doesn't understand technology. Conspiracy theorists weaponize this normal video pixelization as quote-unquote proof of a cover-up. And it fits a pre-existing systemic cover-up narrative. Because this case became intensely polarized along racial and political lines, many people are deeply distrustful of the police and the school district, claiming that the Frisco ISD is hiding the real footage to protect the victims of the family or convict a black teenager feeds directly into that distrust. It allows people to reject the reality of the jury's verdict and continue believing that the version of the events they want to be true. Let's keep going into it. So yes, there is definitive, legal, technical, and procedural proof that the video shown privately at the Frisco ISD is exactly the same grainy, long-range footage released to the public. The people claiming they saw a secret high-definition video of a group assault are categorically lying. Under Texas law and school district protocols, it is impossible for Frisco ISD to have shown a different video file. The three airtight ways to prove those individuals are lying are: 1. The legal chain of custody and subpoena logs. Under the Texas Public Information Act, Frisco ISD is legally required to log every piece of digital evidence tied to a specific incident. When the school district compiled the security tape from the Kindle Stadium, it created a single master digital file containing the 5 stadium camera angles. That file was assigned a strict chain of custody log for the murder trial. Frisco ISD could not legally show people a secret video file because every video file in their possession regarding the stabbing had been subpoenaed by the Collin County District Attorney Office and the defense. Hiding an alternate clearer angle while displaying it to random citizens would be a major criminal offense of withholding evidence. Identical metadata and timestamp matching as well. The definitive proof, is the video's content itself. When local news journalists from CBS and WFFA went to the Frisco ISD offices to view the footage privately, they published detailed descriptions of exactly what was on the screen. They reported that the video started several minutes before the altercation. They noted the camera was positioned far away near the press box, capturing half the field. They documented the exact sequence: sudden movement under the tent, figures interacting, people running away, and the arrival of the ambulance. When Judge John Roach Jr., who officially released the trial's 6-gigabyte evidence file to the public video matched the journalist's descriptions second for second. The timestamps, camera angles, pixelization, and movement are identical. There is no second video. When Judge John Roach officially released the trial's 6-gigabyte evidence file to the public video matched the journalist's description second for second. The timestamps, camera angles, pixelization, and movement are identical. There is no second video. The defense team's own actions in court. Number 3, if the Frisco ISD had a clear, close-up, high-definition video showing Karmelo Anthony being brutally jumped by multiple athletes, his defense attorneys would have used it as their absolute number one piece of evidence. It would have completely cleared him under Texas self-defense laws. Instead, on the first day of the trial, defense attorney Mike Howard told the jury that the video evidence was grainy and there was a lot of completely false information and noise surrounding the case online. They had to hire a forensic video analyst just to try to enhance the blurry shapes in the tent. The defense would never call the video grainy if a crystal clear version existed at the school district, right? Summary. So the rumor starters are banking on the fact that you can't go back in time and look over their shoulder at the monitor they viewed. However, the legal logs, the matching media timestamps, and the defense's own struggle with the blurry footage prove that the public video is the only video that ever existed. Under Texas criminal law, it is impossible for the school district to hide a secret video from the defense team while simultaneously showing it to random members of the public, right? The 3 absolute facts that prove this conspiracy theory is completely fabricated include the Brady Rule makes withholding evidence a crime. Under a landmark constitutional law called the Brady Rule, prosecutors and law enforcement are legally required to hand over all evidence to the defense, especially anything exculpatory, evidence that shows a defendant might be innocent, right? If the Frisco ISD or the police department actually possessed a clear, high-definition video showing a group of people jumping Karmelo Anthony, they were legally required to give it to his lawyers. If they hid such a video, it would be a severe constitutional violation that would result in immediately throwing out of the conviction and major criminal investigation into the state. The defense had absolute subpoena power. Karmelo Anthony's trial lawyers, Mike Howard and his team, possessed full legal subpoena power. Long before the trial, the defense formally subpoenaed Frisco ISD for every single byte of security footage recorded at the Kindle Stadium that day. They did not just asked for a video file. They obtained the direct digital copies from the school district server. His legal team confirmed they received all the existing footage, which is why the trial lawyer openly acknowledged to the jury that the stadium video was grainy and far away. 3. The Frisco ISD handed the video over to both sides simultaneously. Frisco ISD did not independently decide who got to see what. The school district explicitly stated that they compiled the stadium surveillance footage and provided identical copies to both Collin County District Attorney's Office and Anthony's defense counsel. The restricted in-person public viewing at the school district office was only allowed after both legal teams had already had the files in their possession. So the summary is an online rumor starters are trying to explain away a massive contradiction. If a clear video exists, why didn't his lawyers use it? I've been trying to tell y'all this. Y'all don't want to listen to me, though. Y'all want to listen to these liars, grifters on YouTube. Instead of admitting that they lied about seeing a clear video, they invented a secondary lie, claiming the government hid it from the defense. In reality, no such video exists. The defense had to access everything, and the only footage recorded was the grainy, long shot video used in court. Right, you guys? Like virtually all government and school administrative buildings in Texas, the Frisco ISD administration offices are heavily monitored by internal building security cameras. Any individual that went into the office to privately view the track meet footage was captured on camera multiple times. This internal footage serves as an airtight administrative record that can completely expose these online rumor starters as liars. The security and logging protocols proving who watched the video and under what exact conditions include: 1. Mandatory visitor registration and security cameras. To even enter a Frisco ISD administrative facility, visitors can't just walk in and walk out freely. Under the district's strict visitor vetting protocols, individuals must stand directly in front of an entryway security camera, present a valid government-issued photo ID driver's license, get scanned into the district's electronic visitor management system, which logs their exact legal name, arrival time, and departure time. 2. Monitoring the viewing rooms. Because the stadium footage was legally registered and contained sensitive evidence regarding a fatal stabbing, Frisco ISD officials did not leave visitors alone in the room with the file. Requesters were escorted into specific viewing areas monitored by school officials. Hallway and room security cameras recorded these individuals entering the viewing space, sitting down and looking at the screen and exiting. So they lied to y'all. They told y'all, I seen this tape. Okay, tell them to go to the Frisco ISD and get the tape, because it's on videotape when they went in there. The tape they saw is not the tape they told you, and it's on video. Tell them to go down there. The Frisco ISD got when they went down in there, and it's all in the logs. I bet you they won't, because now they busting on lies. 3, how does this prove the secret high-definition video claim? If someone claims that they went to Frisco ISD and saw a secret, crystal clear close-up video of a group attack, these security records completely destroy their lie. The log evidence. A simple Texas Public Information Act request can pull the official visitor logs and building camera records for a specific time frame. If a social media influencer claims they watched it at the district office, but their name does not exist on the visitor logs, they never even set foot in the building or screen evidence. The internal building security cameras track exactly which conference room or terminal was used to fulfill the open records request. The IT logs on those specific computers show the exact file path that was opened. Also, those computer logs prove that the only file ever loaded for public requesters was the 30-minute long-range stadium video file that has since been released to the public. There is no physical or digital record of any high-definition close-up video ever being opened because it does not exist. The IT system and access audit logs. When someone views public records at the government office, they are sitting at a secured district computer terminal. Every single action taken on that computer is digitally logged by the Frisco ISD's IT department. The system keeps a precise digital audit log of exactly what file path was opened at what exact millisecond and which station. These logs prove that the only file ever accessed or decrypted for these viewers was the master stadium security file. There is no digital footprint of any high-definition file being played on those terminals because a high-definition file does not exist. What Mr. Turner claimed versus reality. So this is one of the people, you guys, who saw that video, who claims he saw that videotape. Now, he did go down there and get the paperwork, but he lied about the video he saw, and he knows he's a liar. And, you know, that's the sad part about people, man, is when you know you're lying, and you're lying just a lie, it's disgusting, man. It truly is, you guys. Like, you know, if you're going to be a person to just create lies, it's just sad, bro. It really is. But let's get into that part. So Morris Dwayne Turner became a focal point of online rumors when he publicly claimed that he used Texas open records law to view the stadium surveillance footage at Frisco ISD office. He alleged that the video clearly showed multiple students surrounding, confronting, and attacking Karmelo Anthony while Anthony tried to flee. The description completely contradicts the real evidence. When the footage was officially released to the public by the Collin County Court, it proved the video is far away, grainy, pixelated, and shows a brief, mostly obscured interaction between Karmelo Anthony and a single individual, Austin Metcalf. There is no close-up, high-definition recording of a group attack. 2, disproven by trial testimony and his own defense. Turner's narrative is entirely debunked by the trial itself. If a video showing the group beating actually existed, Karmelo Anthony's own defense attorney, Mike Howard, would have built his entire case around it to prove self-defense. Instead, Karmelo Anthony's defense team openly acknowledged to the jury that the video was incredibly grainy and hard to see. Turner claimed to have seen details that Anthony's own lawyers admitted do not exist on the tape. Turner's public exposure and backlash, the controversy surrounding Mr. Turner's lies intensified when independent investigators and online commentators looked into his background. Public records revealed that Turner is a convicted registered child sex offender in Texas who previously served federal prison time. This revelation sparked outrage in North Texas, not only because he was fabricating details about a murder case, but because it exposed a major legal loophole. Under Texas open records law, Frisco ISD was legally required to let him request and view the school surveillance footage involving MINORSs without a background check. Morris Dwayne Turner fabricated the clear group attack story to insert himself into a highly publicized, racially polarized case. He counted on the fact that because the school district banned phone recordings during in-person viewings, nobody could immediately post the video online to prove he was lying. Now that the actual court evidence is public, his narrative has been completely discredited. The document, officially filed on July the 7th, 2026, by Karmelo Anthony's new appellate team, contains absolutely no claims that a secret, high-definition video of a group beating was withheld by the state or the Frisco ISD. Instead of chasing internet rumors about a secret tape, the 193-page filing focuses strictly on systemic and constitutional errors committed by the court. The specific breakdown of what the appeal actually argues includes violation of public trial rights, the Sixth Amendment. The defense argues that Judge John Roach actively closed the courtroom to the public by banning media cameras and strictly limiting who could sit in the gallery during the trial. The defense claims that Anthony's constitutional right to a transparent public trial was violated. A broken deal with prosecutors. The filing alleges that their prosecution team reneged on a secret, off-the-record agreement at the last minute. According to the defense, both sides had an unwritten pact to exclude certain character flaws and extraneous offense, right? Extraneous offense, right? Evidence from being brought up in front of the jury. The defense claims the prosecutors broke this deal, which sabotaged Karmelo Anthony's ability to safely testify in his own defense. 3, unfairly rushed trial schedule. The defense criticized the extreme speed at which the trial was conducted. They point out that the judge forced a court session on a Saturday, a day when several crucial defense witnesses were completely unable to testify. Furthermore, They claim that when Anthony had to make the massive decision whether or not to waive his Fifth Amendment right to testify, the judge only gave his legal team 10 minutes to counsel him through it. 4. A biased post-trial media appearance. A major section of the brief demands that Judge John Roach be recused from the case moving forward. The appellate attorneys argue that the judge compromised his neutrality by going on national TV days after the verdict to defend the jury's decision and validate his own legal rulings while the case was still technically pending. Summary: a 193-page appeal. The 193-page appeal is a legal attack on how the trial was handled in Collin County, not a claim that new video evidence exists. The appellate lawyers are working with the exact same grainy stadium footage shown to the jury. The narrative of a missing clear video remains a total fabrication confined to social media echo chambers with no basis in the official 193-page legal filing. The official motion for a new trial filed on July 7, 2026 does not claim that a video was missing, hidden, altered, or withheld from by the prosecution or the Frisco ISD. The appellate attorneys did not structure the appeal around evidence being hidden, but rather around strict legal procedures they believe were violated by the court. The courtroom access, as I told y'all, right? They argue heavily restricting the public and the family members from entering the court violated the Sixth Amendment right to a public trial. 2, the gentleman's agreement. They allege that the state broke off an off-the-record pact regarding what background details could be brought up during the trial. This is what I told y'all about the racism and the alleged arrest for the Metcalf twins for racist graffiti and their high school, discipline reports for violence and alleged bullying, right? Also, you have the jury instructions. They argue that the legal wording given to the jury regarding the Texas self-defense laws was flawed and made it unfairly difficult for the jury to find Karmelo Anthony innocent in the judge's conduct. They demand a new judge because Judge John Roach went on TV to defend the trial's fairness right after the verdict. That's the Frisco ISD Center. So we can go through the paperwork next. I want to go through the paperwork, actual paperwork, so that you guys can see that these people are liars, bro. Liars, bro. They just come on YouTube just lying, bro. All them people talking about these people just did that just to raise their own social media awareness. All that shit. The fake ass knife. Oh, there's another knife. The knife wasn't presented in court. All that's lies. Karmelo Anthony's new appeal team ain't even telling none of these lies in the 193-page appeal. It should sicken y'all that people would come on the internet and lie just to build up a social media platform. And knowing that so many people are gullible enough to believe these damn lies is disgusting. It truly is. So as you guys can see right here, this is the key page I was telling you guys about the other day from the appeal paperwork, right? Now, a lot of people want to think that this was fake and no, this is real. This is actual in the actual filing. You guys can go and look this information up, right? It's not going to be hard for you to find, okay? So basically, as you guys can see, it says right here, number 14, let's start right here. It says some specific examples include, and this talks about, and this is talking about, to give y'all context, the hidden deal that they say was broken by the prosecution during the trial. Now, they're saying that they had a deal between the prosecution and the defense to not bring up the histories of either Karmelo Anthony or Austin Metcalf, right? They had a deal, right? And so in this deal that the lawyers had, the deal was effed up, bro. It was real bad. I mean, if you look through the paperwork, bro, there's no way Mike Howard should have took that deal, bro. He should have just said, you know what, whatever, because they had claimed they had something in Karmelo's cell phone. Whatever they had in his cell phone, bro, it wasn't as bad as what the Metcalfs had. So I'm taking that shit to all the way to Trump, saying, look, we're going to get disgusted with this. And I think because he didn't want to, really get down deep. And that's why he needed to have a brother representing him, because they would have went deep in this trial. They would have went all the way in on this trial. And it would expose and see the reason why people don't understand why this is so important. A jury are normal people. Jury are not most of the time, educated people who are in a courtroom every day and understand legal mumbo jumbo. They're human beings. They have feelings themselves, right? So if you present evidence to a jury showing that a certain side is racist, violent, or bullies, that can specifically and drastically change the mind of a juror. Because once again, jurors aren't normally people who are just in courtrooms all the time and understand case law, right? They're human beings with feelings, right? This is the reason why it should have been very important for them to expose these things in court about the Metcalfs. That lawyer, Mike Howard, is to be a damn shame to himself. He should have never made a deal with them devils. I don't care what Karmelo Anthony may have had. Maybe he had some XXX video on his phone or something like that, and they wanted to use that against his career. I don't care what he had. You take that to trial, bro. You take that to the court trial and say, nah, we gonna go all the way with this. You're not finna rush me. We're not finna rush this trial. We're finna go deep on this thing, right? And I'm finna pull out everything on these boys because I'm fighting for my client. When they want to do this little underhand deal, it just ruined the entire parameters of the case. And this is what Karmelo Anthony's lawyers are arguing, that that deal was broken. Even though they did the deal, it was broken by the prosecution. But I want to show y'all this page because this page is a very explosive page, right? And the whole document. This is probably the most explosive page right here. So it says some specific examples include Austin's a really big guy and that he's kind of like the aggressive guy on the team. Now, these are comments that people have made to the police officers, you guys, right? These are comments and statements that people had made to the police officers. Then they got to the court and changed their whole story, right? Austin got the same way he got during the altercation. It's the same way he got with some of us. And the Mello kid, something or whatever, and then Austin kind of got triggered, right? Then it says Austin and Hunter, and I quote, they're not going to let you disrespect them. And Austin, he's like a big guy, so nobody really wants to fight him. Imagine if those statements was let in the court. This whole case is different. Austin's a real passionate guy. And Jose told the police about Austin's history of fighting and almost getting kicked off the football team for fighting. This is all right here in the paper. They held all of this out. That this boy had a history for fighting and all this other shit. Think about this. This is demonic work. I've known Austin for a while, he said. And if Austin is about to get into a fight, you can tell. Austin can be a bit aggressive at times. He has a bloater mouth sometimes. This is what the people were saying, and they held all of these statements out. Think about this. 15. If the prosecution did not call any of these witnesses, the defense was ready to call them during the defense's case in chief and question them as hostile witnesses. What's a hostile witness? Hostile witness is a witness that's supposed to be for the prosecution, but you're calling them as a witness for the defense based off their statements to the police. That's a hostile witness. Hostile witness is a witness that's not yours. You're calling somebody else's witness, but you need to call them because of their statements to the police. Furthermore, the defense intended to call witnesses familiar with Austin and Hunter Metcalf's reputation for violence and bullying. The defense intended to call witnesses who themselves were victims of the Metcalf twins' violence and bullying. The defense intended to question Memorial High School teachers about the Metcalf twins' disciplinary history contained in their school records, which corroborated their character for violence and bullying. So they were bullies. This is just all I see. This is a true facts, not that lie. Oh, I seen this video, man. He got jumped, man. No. These are the true facts. And Karmelo Anthony's appeal team have exposed this in this new filing, right? See, I can roll with the truth any day of the week. And finally, the defense intended to elicit testimony about the Metcalf twins' arrest for racist graffiti. Arrested for racist graffiti, bro. Come on, man. That's all y'all need to know. So they're bullies, right? They're known for violence. Their own teammate says that they're bigger and known for violence. What else are we talking about? They held all this out of court. Bro, that's disgusting, man. That's just, bro. Just off that alone, and then you held that out in court, and then you let them just bust you open in the courthouse, man. That's crazy, bro. Carmelo Anthony's lawyer, Mike Howard, man, he should never take a case ever again. In good faith reliance upon the agreement, the defense did none of this. The defense even limited its questioning of witnesses about the statements that they had made about Metcalf twins being triggered, having a loud mouth, being passionate, etc. That had been determined to be allowed under the agreement in an abundance of caution to avoid opening the door. Furthermore, because the prosecution had made it very clear that the defense calling any psychology-related expert would open the door to character, reputation, and extraneous evidence pertaining to Karmelo, the defense chose not to designate any experts and ultimately chose not to call as a witness a neuropsychologist to discuss Karmelo Anthony's epilepsy or how his epilepsy impacted his perception of threat and response, as that is relevant to self-defense, and a forensic psychologist to discuss both brain development of a 17-year-old as well as the fight or flight response as it applied to Mr. Anthony's actions. Bro, this is deep. This is devilish right here, bro. This is devilish right here, bro. Look, you can just see it from the top. It's right here. These witnesses about various statements they had made to the police on April 2nd, 2025 regarding Austin and Hunter Metcalf easily being triggered, having a loud mouth and being passionate, not allowing themselves to be disrespected. Here we go right here. I mean, bro, it's right there in the paperwork. They didn't put any of this in the court. How is this man supposed to win a trial if they didn't put any of this in the court? Make it make sense, bro. And this filing is explosive. They went in on the judge, how the judge needs to recuse himself, the different rulings that the judge made. You know what I'm saying? That's what this was based around. So it was based around this agreement, the rulings the judge made, and as far as the lack of transparency with the public as far as everything that happened with the public. Man, this case is disgusting, bro. They did this, boy. And see, it had nothing to do with that fake-ass video and stuff. People was doing that for the internet, you guys. I don't have no reason to come on here and lie to y'all, man. People come on here and lie to y'all, and then black folks get mad and triggered when you call out the lies. Oh, man, because they did see it, nigga. You don't know what you're talking about. No, they didn't. They're lying. They straight up lying, bro. Which is why I told y'all they have the actual video, those people watching that video. And that video was the same video that everybody else saw after this trial was over with, and the same one they had in court. Even Carmelo Anthony's appeal lawyers are not even arguing that point. And anybody who says they are in this 193-page document are liars. All you got to do is call them. Did Carmelo Anthony's appeal lawyers information, call them or email them. It's right there. In the file. I'll show y'all that at the beginning of this whole video. Go look it up yourself. I was never capping. Go look it up yourself. Easy work, man. Easy work, man. Y'all, you gotta let me know how y'all feel on this, man. I salute everybody that's tapped in, man. Y'all let me know how y'all feeling on this situation, man. Like, share, and subscribe, man. Hopefully this and you guys, y'all can go through all the paperwork. I read a whole 193 pages, right? But it's sad that people use this to lie, to try to build their channels based off lie. Every day they tell y'all new lies. Oh, it's not knife. It wasn't stabbing. Man, listen, bro. They're all liars. All these people is fabricating shit, fabricating scenarios. None of that shit is in this filing. And you won't see it in the filing because it was all lies and shit they were telling. And sometimes you want to hear anything because you want justice, but the truth is right here in the paperwork. This is what really happened. This is in the legal paperwork. So you can continue to believe that lie or you don't want to. But like I said, call Carmelo Anthony's appellant lawyers. Email them. Ask them if all that mumbo jumbo shit these people been saying on the internet is true. Ask them if the dudes and all the few other black folks that went on the internet talking about they seen a clear video. Ask them, is that true? When they tell you that that's a lie, what you gonna argue with his appeal lawyers? Like I said, man, at some point in time, man, y'all have to realize, man, that not everybody is honorable people in this world we live in. Some people are stone cold liars and will do anything to advance themselves, make themselves look good, make themselves have viewership. When the truth is simple. You understand what I'm saying? You don't need all that to get to the truth in this case. It's showing you right here that the Metcalf twins was, now some of the things they sprinkled in had elements of truth to it, right? But they throw D's on that shit, man, and it sauced the game up, man. Oh, I seen somebody throw something in the trash. I seen them change clothes. I seen this. Just liars, man. It's disgusting. It bothers me. It really does. That's why I told you guys, that girl, Nika Knight, she does a great job. She went down to the courthouse. She does a great job. She's actually in the paperwork. Tell her to go call their lawyers and ask their lawyers about all those lies that people was telling. Oh, I saw them, man. They jumping on the... No, you didn't see nothing. You're a liar. You're a liar. Even his own legal team in this filing. I've already showed y'all that. What they spoke about. And you go watch the other video I have. I'll put the link in the comment section. Right? About that whole situation. Right? They're not saying any of these lies people was on social media saying. It's disgusting, bro. And people going from channel to channel trying to get a name, trying to build social media following, all because of that, based off lies. It's disgusting. So you can continue to believe lies and come in the comment section and say, oh, man, you got it wrong. No, I don't. Call his lawyers. Email his lawyers. I dropped the information at the beginning of this video. Email his lawyers. Ask his lawyers if them lames was telling the truth on YouTube. Aweeba Dirty and all of them. Ask him. I'm just saying. Like, share, subscribe. Hey, we always appreciate the support, and if you guys want to do so, you can use the Cash App or PayPal links. They'll be in the description box below this video or pinned at the top of the comments. The top donators will be announced every month. All right, you guys, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like, share, and subscribe. Make sure y'all cop the merch, and make sure that you get the weight loss formula. The links to that will be in the description box below this video. Check out our next video coming up right now.